Hello, beautiful ladies. Karen McCoy here. Welcome to another edition of the Warrior Woman podcast series. Today, I want to talk about food, our favorite topic, actually, in more particularly about food thoughts. Okay, so as women wanting to lose weight or maintain weight, get strong, get lean, get healthy, age well, we have to befriend food. What I find in the majority of women that come work with me is that there is this ongoing obsession with food in their brains, and it takes up a lot of real estate. And it is overwhelming, it's tiring, it's an energy drain. So I want to look at some of the things that I've discovered in my coaching with women around the obsessive food thoughts. So first of all, it's a habit for many, right? Especially in women who have been dieting for many years. The over focus on food is a mainstream thing. It's what everybody thinks we need to do in order to manage our food and to get at a decent weight. Well, actually, the opposite is true. We're not supposed to be thinking about food that much, because then what happens is if you're always thinking about food, then you are diverting your energy away from not thinking about food and managing your food strategy appropriately from an arm's length. So normal, healthy people with healthy weight who have learned to do so over time, we're not consumed by food thoughts. So we have this little built-in hormone called uh, there's ghrelin and leptin, right? And so ghrelin is the one that says, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. And leptin is the one that says, I'm satiated. So those can be out of whack in women who have done a lot of dieting. And even if you've done a diet once over 18 months, the body remembers. This is what research shows. So it really is about reparenting the body in a different way. And so what happens is the hunger signals go out of whack. And when they're out of whack from years of dieting or improper food strategy, maybe not dieting, but trying all sorts of different food trends, the body likes the same old, same old. It's really boring. And when you're always changing, it sets it on alert. And so this is where some of the food thoughts come in, where we're always trying to manage. How come this is working? How come this isn't working? Eat this, not that. Over and over, rinse and repeat, circling the drain. And so this is where women assume that in order to lose the weight and have maintenance weight moving forward, they have to have a constant vigilance on food, or there's a habit of having that vigilance. And like I was saying, we don't want it to be a habit where we're focusing on food. We actually want it to be on the sidelines, and our leptin and ghrelin, the hunger and satiety hormones, are working in balance where we feel hungry. So we want to feel tolerable hunger, not crazy hunger. So the tolerable hunger is between meals when our little tummy goes, I think I need to eat something now. That is how it's supposed to work. And we go, oh, it's time to eat because I'm hungry, and your body is set in motion. That's how it's supposed to work. And so when we're consumed by food thoughts, we're giving too much energy to it, and we are a prisoner to it. So again, this is just a habit in some women that have dieted for a very long time. And it just, when women come work with us, we do a food strategy and we look at meals, macros, timings, and portions, and we build it from there. But the main deal is so that you can take your hands off the steering wheel and you can learn how to go on remote control. So the second challenge, beyond things being a habit in food thoughts and food thinking, is this control issue. So there's a real control issue. And a lot of women, I had one woman who was a parole officer, and she always went home and went into the fridge and reached for food. She knew better, but she did. And when we got to the bottom of it, which took a bit of time because we're always unconscious about this stuff, we know what we're supposed to do, but we're not doing it. That's not being conscious. What she realized was her world was so crazy. She was, managing and controlling a lot of people as a parole officer, and reaching for the food was a sense of control for her. So it was simple. it was linear in a world that was pretty chaotic in her career. So once she realized that, there was an aha moment where she could come home and find a sense of calm and control in doing something else other than reaching for food because the food had gotten out of control and she had weight challenges. So the control feature is super important here too. The other thing I see is in the last 5 or 8 years is this over hyper focus on macros. I'm not saying macros aren't important, guys, but not every conversation has to start and end with macros. What are your macros? Right? Let's look at your training, your lifestyle, your background, your diet history, your marriage, your training, right? So it's not just about the macros, but there's an over control on getting the information. Well, I just have to do another Google search. Well, I've got another diet, different diet, but same habit though. It's the same thinking habit. I need to find something that is going to work. Maybe this is the missing link. So that control feature is really important where women have to get so much information before they move in. And I have some women never really moving in. Like knowing and doing are two different things. And so there is a sense of control in having all the information and doing all this stuff. And this is where they say nothing's working, but they're not really taking action on anything solidly for 2 or 3 weeks. I call it playing with your food. They play with it and they go, well, it's not working or it's not working fast enough. So again, that control piece is super, super important. We just need to let go. We need to loosen our grip, guys. The third one is the opposite of control, which is checking out. Well, I don't want to have to manage my food. I want to eat intuitively and just eat what I want and it will take care of itself. Yes and no. In women that know how to work this, yes, it can. But for a lot of women, it is just a deflection. It is just saying, well, I really don't want to do the work and I just kind of want to eat intuitively. Often this is with women, again, who have done a lot of diets or they're frustrated with their food strategy. It's not right. Their weight is not where they want it to be. And they're overconsumed by the whole process. And they then go oscillating way over to the other side and go, I'm done. I'm done. I just want to eat what my body tells me to eat. But here's the problem in a body that's unbalanced, you will crave sugar. You will crave salt. Your thyroid will want salt. Your sugar cravings are still embedded. And so we can't just eat what our body tells us because when it's unbalanced, it's telling us the wrong things. So that's where we need a whole foods diet based on macros, timings, portions, and on the macronutrients, right? And the number of meals, of course. So there is that deflection piece. And then there would be perfectionism is another thing that shows up. There are some women that really want everything to be perfect before they start, or they want to research the heck out of something before they do something because they don't want to make a mistake. They don't want people to see that they're doing something wrong. That perfectionism, the standards, the bar is way too high. And here's the deal, guys. When we're learning and growing anything, but in metabolism and healthy aging and weight loss and body shaping, we have to have built into it some followaways. You might call them failures. People don't like the word failure, but failure is necessary to learn and grow. It is feedback. I like to look at it even as um, fertilizer, where it is nurturing us to understand what's really going on here. Why did I slip? That's where the coaching piece is so important, guys. And that is where we get to the deeper parts of what's really going on here. It's not about the food. It's not about the weight. It really is about the deeper forces. And that's why I do so much of the mental, emotional, and spiritual work with women. That's the foundational piece for most people. Some people have it and they've worked hard at it, or they were born into a family where that was natural conversation, which is very rare. I would say like maybe 2% of the population. But it really is about understanding that perfectionism will either have success or failure, right or wrong, black or white, up or down, and there's nothing in between. And there's too much emphasis on needing to be right. And if you're not right and something fails, then a lot of women just pack up and go. They emotionally check out, and they check out with food and binging again, right? So perfectionism has no place in a body transformation space. We want excellence. We want progress. We don't need perfectionism. That is something that was taught to us, maybe consciously or unconsciously, from a very, very long time ago. And then the final thing is the lemming factor, I call it. Okay, you know lemmings. So lemmings are those little creatures that they all run towards a cliff. And if one jumps over, they all jump over, right? So this is what happens in mainstream. This is mainstream thinking. And it is where everybody is following everybody else here. And so everybody is now doing keto. Everybody is doing low carb. Everybody is, well, paleo's died out. The raw food diet has died out. Thankfully, the master cleanse has died out, I hope. All of these things die out, but other things come into play. And now it's intermittent fasting as well. Well, what is fasting? It means you're not eating. And so, okay, I don't eat between meals and I don't eat after I eat my dinner. And then I wake up and eat again. But they have to count it out 12, 12, 14, 10, 16, 8, okay, whatever. There we go again with that sense of control, perfectionism. I got the numbers. Well, my numbers are 16, 16, 8. What are yours? It's like, who cares, right? Once you get your body and your metabolism and your taste buds and your palate and your hormonal fluctuations all balanced in homeostasis, which takes time. It only takes a couple weeks. That's why we do food strategy plans for women, because all we're doing is getting everything balanced again from a world that's chaotic like this. And so everything comes in line, and then we can start seeing results in our body shaping, body transformation, weight loss strategy. You can't ride the waves when the waves are crazy when you're in a tsunami. And if your body's been in a tsunami for a very long time, then you need to level that first. That's why we always say metabolism first, weight loss second. You must get the metabolism back working strong and sound on regular routine and structure, and you don't have a broken metabolism, and it's not going to take a long time, but it's going to take diligence. And we usually give women 2 weeks on our plan, 2 weeks on our metabolism reset on our food plan, get all that stuff in order. There's no supplements, there's no lotions or potions, there's nothing you have to buy. Mother Nature provides it all. But it really is about uncluttering the brain, guys, and stopping all the obsessive food thoughts, because when we're in here, it keeps us busy, which can be a habit, which can be a control issue, which can be a deflection, which can be not really wanting to do the work, and which can be the lemming factor. Okay, so there's 5 reasons why we've got these food thoughts floating around in our brain, and we need to get rid of those so that this and your food, your palate, your tummy, all that beautiful food that you're eating can work in synergy. You will be back in alignment with yourself. Because if you're trying to create a healthy body from an unhealthy mindset, it ain't going to work. It might work for a while, but it's not going to sustain itself because it can't. So this is where we're either living in resistance or flow. And this is where I say to women, it's time to wake up, because most people, in my view, are sleepwalking through life. And this is about women becoming conscious at 40, 50, 60 plus years of age. Those are the women I work with. I don't work necessarily with younger women because they're so busy with their career and their kids and stuff. Like they're just go, 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 go. And I know that one too. I would not have been able to listen at 30 years old when I had my baby to somebody who wanted to uh, go under the hood, go behind the veil, if you will, go deeper into where everything's like, no, 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 just tell me what, I'm so busy, just tell me what to do. Women beyond 40 are yearning. They're hungry for sustainability, for a life of meaning and purpose, living in a body that's strong and healthy and shapely and will age well for the next 20, 30, 40 years on the planet. It is not just about the food and the training, guys. Those are the easy parts. It is about having strategy and structure in those things, but also working on the mental, emotional, and spiritual as well. If you don't want to, You want another food plan? That's cool too, because there's a lot of that out there. But it is going into the foundational place of the mindset piece because we've either built our house on sand or concrete. And most people are unconsciously moving through life. They're just keeping up with life, because life is busy. Let's face it, for us women, life is a challenge, right? And we've got so many. I liken it to being at the circus where the guy's like spinning all the plates. Remember that guy? He's spinning and he's got 6 or 7 plates going. That's us. And I've learned it doesn't get easier with age. It actually, there's more stuff, there's more plates to hold on to. So, how do we do that from grace and presence and being conscious? It is when we're living unconsciously that we're just in remote control. And then we come to midlife or beyond and we go, is this all there is? Why can't I get my body and my health in line? Why do I not feel fulfilled? Why am I still struggling with the same things? Where is my sense of purpose? How do I build wisdom? How do I live from my authentic place? That and living in a great body is what a great life is all about. So, thank you for listening, ladies. Really do consider what your food thoughts are doing. And with so much in your brain and taking up all that real estate, it's not allowing you to just have it on remote control, which does take time, but it does happen. And it's a beautiful way to live. And you can then put that energy out into your beautiful life so that you can grab life by the horns and enjoy every single moment of it and go into areas with your family, with your retirement, with your future, with your travel, with joie de vie, with joy, because you're not so busy in the head. Okay, you guys, be well. I'm going to pop a little beliefs map down underneath here. It's just something that I give to my clients when they come work with me. Fill it out, and I'm happy to do a little audio coaching call around that just to see where you're at, and I will send it back to you. Okay, take care. Bye.